That's okay. I think it's gonna stay in because I thought that was kind of funny. Hi, my name's Cam. I use they, them pronouns. My forehead's a little bit cut off, but I think that that's okay. I'm, for folks that need it, I'm a white person wearing glasses with a black t-shirt with, you can't, like, it's cut off anyway, but I have black hair that's short and swoopy. And I'm in front of a fireplace and some speakers and a beige wall with some black shelves and black framed paintings and things. Hello, it's good to have you. It's nice to see you again, even in my cut off state. But I don't have a stand. I just put my phone up against a mason jar full of water and hope for the best. Good morning. At least for me, it's morning or late morning because I woke up a little late. The light is streaming in and it's nice because I love the trees and seeing the colors diffuse through the leaves. Probably one of my favorite things ever. And it makes me think a lot of the Mitski song, Francis Forever, where she says, like, I don't remember the exact line. It's always so hard for me to remember lyrics unless I'm actually singing them. But she talks about the light coming in through the trees. And she's sad, believe it or not. But yeah, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I don't know if there's other times of day. I guess there's dusk, there's dawn. That's my cat. He's an orange cat. He's very small. His name's Garm. Yeah, I cleaned up his throw up earlier because after we do his asthma medication, sometimes he throws up, and that's okay. I guess I wanted to do a transcendental meditation today because I've been thinking a lot about the ancestors, being that today is November 2nd. So the past 2 days have been a lot of charged spiritual energy. And there's many holidays that celebrate and acknowledge that. I mean, there's, of course, Dia de los Muertos, there's Samhain, or Dia de los Muertos is celebrated in Mexico, and I'm not sure if it's celebrated in other indigenous South American or Central American specifically places, but I know at least in Mexico it is. And Samhain is celebrated in by the Celtic community in Ireland, and La Toussaint is a French holiday where they celebrate, like all of these cultures. I mean, I imagine that there's many more, so please let me know if you celebrate any of these holidays, and I would love to learn more about it. Halloween, but Halloween is very capitalist, so I don't really know anyone who celebrates Halloween in a pagan, indigenous, culturally backed way. Even though I do love the movie Hocus Pocus, very fun movie. Kind of racist, but once again, that tends to happen with capitalist things. In any case, there's been a lot of spiritual energy, and I've just been trying to think about the spirits, but I don't really know any other better way than to do that through a meditation. Of course, journaling, I would highly recommend, walking and talking to the trees and the squirrels, and whatever nature is around you. That helps. Probably doing some intentional dreaming, all of these different things, praying, other body work. In any case, I'm getting a little distracted. Yeah, but the past few days I haven't really had time to dedicate towards actually like engaging with the ancestors and specific spirits who I need to guide me during this time. And that's for a number of reasons. Like yesterday, my body was really tired because on Friday, on Halloween, the 31st, in case October 31st, I went to a local tree that was a couple blocks down, and it's a big giant black walnut tree that's probably like 100 feet tall, and since I live in the suburbs, that is a very tall tree. And it was so beautiful. All of its leaves were yellow, and it was dropping these massive baseball to softball sized green nuts. And so I spent probably an hour with my kind of partner, Maddie, and we were just, we watched a video from Alexis the Black Forager and figured out the process of how to harvest the nuts. And we actually forgot to thank the tree. We thanked the squirrels, but we forgot to thank the tree, so we had to go into the yard while we were washing the nuts with the hose, and we could see the tree just peeking out over, and we thanked them from a distance. But while we were doing that, it was very physically tiring. I am sore in my hips from bending over. I did not expect it to, and it was heavy. Like, these were probably like 10 pounds of nuts that we were able to gather. Don't worry, we left more than enough for the squirrels, who were probably about 5 to 10 of them were constantly chittering above us. It was so cool. I love squirrels so much. The other day there was a squirrel that came up on the porch while we were having our morning medicine, and it had a big black walnut in its mouth, and they just came up, crawled up the stairs, and inched their way towards us, and both of us went completely silent, and we were just staring at this squirrel, and it was staring back at us, and it was so fantastic because I was like, wow, this creature is sentient and not afraid, and it just felt like so kindred in that moment, and it was beautiful. And they came up a little close, like they got within a foot, maybe a foot and a half of my leg, and I thought they were gonna jump on me or attack me, but that was just my fear, and it was perfectly fine. And then after probably about 10 seconds of checking us out, they just ran and jumped onto a tree on the side of the porch, and it was pretty awesome. So yeah, it was physically exhausting getting the walnuts. In Alexis's video, would highly recommend her channel. She is such a vessel of wisdom and knowledge about foraging, and specifically Black history within that, and yeah, just a lovely person. Some great dresses and outfits also. Very exhausting. Oh, in one of her videos, she said something like, to all the trad wives who want to process their own food, do it and see how hard it is. And I'm like, yes, very true. It was disappointing though, and I'm still processing this. I wrote a poem about it. I was thinking I would share it with you all, but I think I need more time to think about it. But I wrote a poem about this experience that I had while we were foraging the black walnuts, where this white woman was just racist. That's simply put. She had good intentions, but she was just being racist. And I told her that, and it was very scary because I'm part Japanese, and I've lived in this community my whole life. So I've experienced a lot of anti-Asian specifically, but also just general racist microaggressions. So it put me back into that headspace a lot of just like, oh, okay, you think that I'm a white person and that it's safe for you to say these racist things to me, and that I'm going to hold your hand through this process. Um, and I guess it made me question a lot about, um, I guess it made me spiral, but I don't think truly that the spiral the spiral is very good because she tells you things that either confirm the spiral allows you to either hard pivot, make you recognize things that you are not recognizing because of shame or embarrassment or procrastination or any of those feelings that are kind of like clogs in our drain of taking feeling and moving it towards action. But at the same time, a spiral can simply be intrusive thoughts and allow us to deepen our practice by examining those intrusive thoughts, realizing that they are simply intrusive thoughts, that they are thoughts that are not beneficial, thoughts that are not true, thoughts that are not kind, thoughts that do not bring us to a place that is closer to our true selves and our true directions. And I think that that's what my thought spiral did for me, was it reified that no, actually, I am a different person than I was when I was in high school or when I was in middle school or when I was even in elementary school and being bullied for looking mixed race. Um, and it's wild too because as a kid, I didn't look much different than I do now. Probably, yeah, I think when you're a kid, people just are really, like, other children are really good at picking out difference. So even just the fact that I had thick eyebrows or darker peach fuzz, or arm hair that was slightly darker than my blonde peers, um, somehow that was uh, that was racialized. And obviously now most people, when they see me, they just assume that I'm a white person, and that is true. Um, so I guess it was just really jarring to be thrust back into that sharp white background, to quote Zora Neale Hurston. In any case, past few days, oh my gosh, I was also gonna tell you, y'all, that on Friday, I've had a crush on a librarian at my local library who we went to the same, or we were in high school at the same time, but she went to a different high school. So I saw her again a few weeks ago and I was like, "Oh my gosh, didn't know she worked at the library." So on Friday, I finally got up the courage to give her a note and ask if she wanted to be friends and like go on a walk, or just like give her my number if she was open to that. Trying to be chill about it, very chill. But I went to the library and asked a librarian if she worked there, and they had no clue who I was talking about. So did make me feel a little crazy. Did make me spiral a little. But again, I don't think it was really that grave. Um, but still sad. So if there's any library sweeties out there, um, you know I got my eye out for you. I think that we could transition to the meditation that I wanted to do. Um, just so you know, the past two meditations, you know, for anyone keeping up with my channel, the past two meditations that we've done have been grounding meditations, and this is going to be a transcendental meditation. But since I had the intention of opening space for communication with ancestors or spirits or plant kin or whoever you're trying to be in contact with, I think of it more as a transcorporeal meditation because we are embodying transcendence, but it is specifically with also like embodying these experiences of other beings, other entities. I went back and I looked at my transcript. I think I'll try to finish it because it is helpful and I want folks who need subtitles to be able to access that. It is just so embarrassing how many times I say and I imagine that for people you don't care. And that's great. It was just a little hard to hear it being like every other start of a sentence. And that's because I'm shy, so just bear with it. Hi, Garm. I have to talk to him because it expands his brain. Garm is my cat again, just wanted to clarify. Yeah, but talking to our pets actually expands the part of their brain that receives speech, which is pretty amazing. So we can move into the meditation. If you are sitting down, you can just sit crisscross. You can maybe find some pillows to put under your legs. I'm gonna back up a little so that way you could see my face. I mean, you can still see my face, but now you can see my cute hair that I washed yesterday. Yeah, if you want to lay down, you can also just try to sink into the pillows, and if you're standing, that's also okay. You could just feel your feet hitting the ground. You can roll your neck if you feel any tension there, or just do some little wiggles to prepare your body to go into a still, quiet place. So we're going to be breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. And we'll just start taking some slow breaths, gradually getting deeper and deeper. So we'll start in and out. And out. And you can exaggerate the first few breaths too. Really feel your lungs fill up. Feel your shoulders roll back. In and out. In and out. And if as you go, you find that you want to take a pause between inhales and exhales, maybe starting with 1 to 2 seconds, that's also more than welcome. In, hold, out, hold. And if you'd like, you could let your eyes drift close, or you can let your gaze go hazy. In, out. You can bring some attention to your lungs as they expand with breath, fill with life. We can have some intention with our breath, knowing that it is keeping us together. It is allowing us to move through the difficult world that we occupy. We breathe thousands and thousands of times a day, and often we don't notice. Our lungs are filtering out toxins. They're drinking the sweet life that is our world. So let's have some space for our lungs. Show some gratitude. Offer some kindness and tenderness. Perhaps you're holding a lot of sadness or rage in your lungs, a fire that comes out your nose holes. We can hold all of that. And when you're ready, we can move on to our next life-giving organ, our heart, beating triumphantly, taking all of the air that our lungs process, oxygenating our blood, allowing us to move quickly, move suddenly, move slowly. Similarly, we can honor all that our heart carries. It is a muscle that never stops. We can will it to slow down or speed up. But similarly to our lungs, she is constantly beating, asking us, telling us, providing for us to do all that we need to do. We can hold her rage, her pain, her hurt. And lastly, we can think of a third organ that is connecting both our lungs and our hearts, the pericardium. It is an envelope of tissue that holds our lungs together, that embraces the beating of our heart, that literally unites the two organs into one. She is tense and tiresome from keeping us together, binding our being into one. At least in Western medicine, we often don't consider the pericardium its own organ, but I'd like to give it some special attention in this moment because she too does so much for us. Whatever you're experiencing in this moment, thinking of your chest, you can put a hand on your chest and gently rub, increasing attention and focus to this place. Whatever feelings you have about your chest, the organs that reside within it, keeping us alive, keeping us hopeful even when we resist or don't want to, holding our love, holding our pain and our rage, our hearts, our lungs, our pericardium, they are binding us. We can say thank you to these organs as we move through the body and begin to embrace our inner lives and complexities, our working mechanisms. And if you feel like any specific body parts need special attention that I haven't named, please offer that. Now is the time to focus on where there is tension, where there is release, where there is pain, where you are holding more than you are capable of holding. Where you would like to bring attention to is up to you. And I fully encourage you to divert from the list that I have in my head or the list that I will say, because it's up to you. And that is so beautiful. And I'd also like to say that if you feel distracted at any point, that is totally okay. You can just gently bring your thoughts back to your breath, back to your nose, imagining your lungs expanding as your heart is beating and your pericardium is keeping us together. And also, if this is a time where you need to journal, or you need to sing, or you need to draw, also embrace that. That is your body telling you what it needs. And even though it is different, perhaps you must embrace that. Next, I think I'll move on to my liver. Our livers are located on the right side of our body, just under our rib cage. The liver is our detoxifying organ. It is the first organ to form in the body. It is dark red and meaty. It processes our blood and detoxifies. Truly, we have never lived in a time of more pollution of the air, of the water, of the land, pollution of our hearts and our minds, capitalism, white supremacy, ableism, sizeism, cis-heteropatriarchy, including the emissions of fossil fuels, radioactive emissions, lead and other chemicals. All of these are things our liver has to go through every single day, not to mention the processing of toxins that we ingest in substances. We are indebted to our liver, and we can offer that gratitude. She goes through so much. Thank you to our liver. She is allowing us to exist, even with all the muck and the filth. She is getting us through it. With each breath, she is providing for us the ability to move forward, to live cleanly, or as cleanly as we can manage, to detoxify the pain and the torment, all of the sickness that we are holding in our bodies. We live with chronic illness, and our livers need extra support to manage the lives that we have. Others, we are surrounded by toxins. We live near highways, we live near dumps. We cannot afford the privilege of living in ignorance of the pollution that our world creates. And also, folks that navigate through systems of oppression know intimately the ways in which toxins can harm us through stress, through disabling, through chronic pain. Thank you to our livers. If your liver feels extra pain, or maybe she feels like she needs extra support, share that. As we move through our abdomens, the tissues, the muscles that hold our organs in. Our abdomen is the muscles that make up our diaphragm, the muscles that make up our linings of our stomach, on the outside of our bellies. It keeps everything whole. It quite literally holds all of our organs inside. She is navigating so much weight and so much stress. She is carrying so much with her. Even when we overeat or we do not have enough to eat, she is what keeps us together. When all of our organs are crying out in pain because of the toxins of our lives, the toxins of oppression, she is what keeps us whole. Thank you to our abdomens. Thank you to our diaphragms. Thank you to all of these muscles that though we may not notice them, they are constantly working. And even though there are people who obsess about our looks of our abdomens, I hope that we can take a moment to let our bellies hang out, to know that we are still whole. We are most whole when we prioritize the feelings in our bodies. This is not an aesthetic experience. This is for you. This is to let yourself sink into the pillows, into the bed, into the floor, and to know that your body is perfect the way that she is, the way that he is, the way that they are. It is all good. Your body is telling you exactly what you need in any given moment. So let's hold space for our abdomens as we move down to our thighs. Our thighs are the thick, meaty places in our femurs, outside of our femurs, where our ancestors live. They carry stories and memories that we may not even have access to in our brains. There's tradition, there's culture, there is connection to land and spirit and stars and trees and birds and sea and people. All that makes us human lives in our connection to our ancestors, in our connection to our past. Our thighs are so strong. They are most responsible for the strength that we have in walking throughout the day and holding our legs and our bodies up to run long distances, to lift heavy things. Let's hold some space and gratitude for our thighs. As we move to our calves, the present lives in our calves. This is our connection to ourself. This is our connection to our present moment, our connection to our bodies. Feel free to, as we move through these different places, to hold them, to rub them, to feel connected to them, to know them by touch and by feel. Is there hair? Is there moles? Is it wrinkly? Is it full of veins? Is the skin thin or thick, dry or smooth? How does your muscles feel? How do your bones feel? These are the times to think about what your body feels like to live in, and your calves are no exception. They are where we connect the past, the present, with the future. Thank you to our calves. And now moving down to our feet, our soles. This is the future. This is every step that we will take, guided by every step we have taken, every step we continue to take. Our calves and our thighs and our feet are all intimately related. There is no linear path. Our feet have the most nerve endings in our entire bodies. And oftentimes, by the time that we age, we lose 60 to 70% of that feeling. So if you want, you can tickle your toes, wiggle your toes, feel the bottoms of your soles, if they're rough, if they're smooth. My kitty cat is playing with their scratching post, so I hope that you can also think of their paws, their toes and their soles. This is our future. You can guide your path through thinking about your present, your past, your future. All of this is interrelated. We are not isolated beings. There is no present without the past, no future without the past, and vice versa. All is true. Let's hold some gratitude for all of our legs, all that they represent, all that we come from, all that we go to, the worlds that we can build with our legs leading us, walking towards the future and away from our current oppressive reality. Moving back to our hips. Our hips, similar to our abdomens, carry so much. Believe it or not, all parts of our bodies carry much. Our hips offer us stability. They often can be tight because we do not work them when we sit so frequently in our day-to-day lives. It can be hard to remember to stretch them, to feel mobile, and to feel capable with them. We can offer some gratitude to our hips and the agility that they provide us, our abilities to pivot, to transform, to rotate and re-examine that our hips engage us with. We are most able to reflect when we are in tune with our hips, because they are such agile entities themselves. They allow us to rotate our legs. They allow us to birth children. They allow us to sit, to lay, to comfortably reside and relax. If you are sitting right now, or you are laying down and your hips are making contact with the earth, honor that connection. The land and our hips are so integral to one another, just as the land provides for us food, seeds, ecosystem. Our hips provide for our people. Our hips provide the stability, the reflection, the literal life-giving properties that make our humanity humanity, just as our connection to the land is so sacred. Allow us to sit with it, to be present on the earth, even if it's through layers of wood and concrete and plastic. We are still grounded. We are still here. Thank you to our hips. And now as we move up our backs, our spines are always engaged. They keep us upright, or they keep us hunched. Our spines allow our necks to wiggle. They allow our hips to rotate. We use our spines to keep us moving as we walk, as we crawl, as we stand, as we lay. Our spines, similar to our abdomens, are constantly being engaged. And it's hard to navigate in a world that requires us to carry so much weight when our spines were not made for this kind of labor. Our spines were not made for the weights we hold. Even now, just sitting down, I find my spine is in pain. It is hard to sit down, to be present with you. And yet, this is an exercise that we must do. If you ever find that the pain is too much, however, please take a break. Come back to this, or even just readjust. You do not need to be in excruciating pain to harness the powers of meditation. That is a deeply problematic belief that I do not want to engage here. Please, rest. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others and truly be collectivist and be in community. Our spines allow us to rotate and wiggle just as our hips do, and our spines connect us from our heads to our hips to our toes. It is the bridge between our bodies. She is so capable, and I think yet we have to still unlock her potential. For most of what we do in the day is stress our spines. When we look at our phones or at screens, our necks are in pain. When we hunch on the toilet, or when we sit for hours in our workplace, our spines are crying out in pain. So please take a moment to adjust, to wiggle, to ground yourself. If there's any specific part of your spine that needs specific attention, lower back, middle back, upper back, spine, neck, tailbone, offer that. Thank you to our spines, you big, beautiful vessel. Now moving up to our shoulders, another place where we hold so much weight. Our shoulders, again, are the bridge between our body parts. They are often used for holding weight, used in carrying large objects, or even carrying emotional objects. Who has not had someone rest a head on their shoulder, or carry a large box, or some kind of mechanism that can harm us without even realizing? If you are carrying any weight on your shoulders at this moment, is it possible to let some of it go? To allow yourself to be free of that weight? Thank you to our shoulders for keeping us stable, for allowing us the strength that we may not have known was there. And as we move up our necks, and into our brains. Our brains are often our most harmful organism, or our most harmful organ. It can create stories, lies, misinformation. It can exaggerate or exclaim. Our brains are the organs we are fighting most often against, and yet our brains are our process through everything. Every sensation in our entire bodies is processed through our brains, even those we cannot name, even those there are no names for. Every feeling, every emotion gets translated by our brains. And what a difficult task of translation is. If you feel like you've been having a lot of intrusive thoughts lately, or a lot of shame or embarrassment, maybe now is a time that you can offer compassion to your brain for all that she has been processing. All of the lights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes, the touches that she has not enjoyed, that she has rejected, all of the words, the mean things that she has endured. Your brain, unlike other aspects of the body, does not have an innate way to process them. That is up to us. At the same time, it's also okay to hold your brain accountable. If you feel angry, if you feel sad, if you feel disappointed that your brain has not been able to hold herself, she's not been able to keep her thoughts flowing, and there has been that stagnation of thoughts, the clogging of thoughts, it's okay to feel that upset, that disappointment, that rage. Our brains often hold on to fear, danger, and there is biological, ancestral reason for that. But it's important to be able to discern whether holding on to fear of oppression, holding on to the danger of the other, or other thoughts that are not necessary, whether they are truly helping us or hurting us and preventing us from being able to unlock our true capabilities. And if there's any place in the body that you feel like you need extra attention to, any extra space to go towards, please make that. And as we rise up through our bodies, we find ourselves at the top of our heads, and we can continue to float upwards into a black, nebulous void. It is warm here, and as we float up into the void, we feel completely safe. We are enveloped by warmth, by kindness, by curiosity. We are surrounded by bliss. And even though there is darkness, we are not afraid of it. There is nothing here to be afraid of. We move through this amniotic ooze, and it feels extremely good. As we rise up, we think about what worlds await us, what worlds our ancestors dreamed of, that were denied them, that were stolen from them, that they were manipulated, or even they manipulated others into forsaking. As we move up through this dark space, our heads, our shoulders, our arms, our legs, we emerge in this new space, grounded. Maybe there are trees, birds singing. Maybe it is golden. There's a gentle breeze. It's not cold. It's not hot. It is the perfect temperature. You can begin walking through a field. What kinds of plants are growing there? Are there people? Are there animals? Maybe we're in an office building. Maybe not an office building that exists today, but an office building of this better world. Maybe we're in your home, your future home, your ancestors' home, the home of your children's children's children. We are in this place together. Or maybe you are alone. Are you laying down? Are you sitting? Are you running? Who is around you? Does it feel pleasant? What do you wish was there? Maybe you'll be transported somewhere else. You're at the beach, by the ocean, you hear the waves crashing. There are shells on the sand. Is it stormy? Is there a clear sky? What kinds of grasses or plants are by the coast? Are there people there? Family or friends? Is there a place to lay down and eat some food? Is there songs you'd like to sing? Or people you would like to embrace? Or go kiss or hug? Is there anyone that you recognize? Who you see in utopia? Is it raining? Maybe there's some other place that you need to be. You need to be alone, or you need to go to the library, or you need to go to the garden. What do these spaces look like for you? Are there plants that you could touch, books that you can hold, fabric that you can mend or create? What kind of art exists? What kind of love do you have in your heart? Do you feel cared for? What do you need to feel cared for? In all of this exploration, there's room for transition. You can hop from place to place, or you could stay grounded in the first place that you went to. All of this is okay. All of this is welcome. And when you go alone or with friends or with community, whoever that may be, there's someone in the distance. Their back is turned to you. They're far away, but you can just make out the outline of their frame. You can see something similar about you. You can ignore them, or you could keep going, walking through the tree line or exploring this office space, visiting your home, your childhood home, your future home. We do not exist in a place of time, and yet we are also intimately aware that this is not now, it is not then, it is not to come. This is pure possibility. This is imagination. This is what can come to be if we shape it. As you continue to explore, the person that was far off in the distance is closer now. Maybe they're looking at you, or you're looking at them. Either way, they don't exactly notice you. They may see you if you engage with them, but otherwise, they're staring off, not present. They pose no threat. They have no interest in you, but if you would like to pursue them, you can go closer, walk up to them. You can talk to them. You can simply look at them. You can engage with them, hold them, wipe a tear from their eyes. This is you today. How do they look? Are they sad? Are they full of fear? Do they seem tired? It's hard to see yourself with your eyes closed and in this beautiful, fantastic, possible space, to see that you are still here. Maybe the you that you are looking at, the you from today, when they look out at the sea or the ocean, the forest, the office, the home, the garden, maybe all they can see is the present, their job, their isolation, their family problems, conflict that they can't ever seem to transform. When you look at them, the you today standing in front of you, what do you see? What do you want to tell them? If you would like, you can talk to them. You can place a piece of paper in their hands with words written inside or a picture. You can hold them, or you can walk away. Maybe they aren't ready to know all of this possibility that exists, all of the potential. A world without oppression, a world without the pain of injustice. What does that look like? Do they even know? Can they even dream? And at the same time, maybe this person isn't you today. Maybe this person is a grandparent, a great-great-grandparent, an ancestor. Then what would you tell them? How does that change things for you? Or does it remain the same? Is their capacity to not see, to not know the potential of this world simply because of their stress, of their exhaustion, of their pain, or perhaps their refusal to see possibility? Hope can be a weapon too, and oftentimes we do not know how to hope because we are never taught. Whatever you would like to say or do with yourself, with your ancestor, you can do that now in this space. You can do that freely. And they will remember. You will remember. Whatever you need to do before we leave this space, feel free to do. This is your time to be here, to be present. And it is okay to even just sit down on the ground, feel the earth embrace you, and know that you have a place in the wonder of all things. And when you are ready, you will begin to sink into the ground, slowly at first. Then gradually your whole body is enveloped once again in that deep, dark blackness, the warmth overtaking you. It feels safe. You can always come back to that place. You know this. It is not gone because it does not exist yet. So it is always present. It is always possible. You can bring this to others. You can bring this to your children, to your future. You can share this with all who need it. As you go into this deep, dark space, entirely covered by darkness, you are most whole. You have always been this whole, and you will always be this whole. Through the darkness, you come back into your head, into your shoulders, your heart, your chest, your abdomen, your thighs, your calves, your feet, and you are placed back down in the bed, on the ground, standing. You are back in your body. You can raise awareness to the noises around you. Is there a car driving by? Is there a bird chirping? Is there a cat meowing? You can hear your breath. You can wiggle your toes. You can roll your neck. Slowly bring attention back into your body and begin to feel present once more. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and see exactly what is in front of you. Well, thanks for joining me. I think that obviously that was a lot. It was very long, so I'm really proud of you for sticking through it. And it's okay if you felt distracted during it. We can honor all of these things. Even just taking the time to sit and listen or journal, that is so valuable. And you can always come back to this. You can always come back to this space. Believe it or not, it doesn't exist out there. It doesn't exist in some sacred ceremony. It can literally just be a few minutes. Intentional breathing, imagining, and we have access to that. Thank you for coming today. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that whatever questions that you have about your past, about family trees that have been chopped down, about lineages that have been stolen, even if we can honor our ancestors, we can also hold them accountable. They were not perfect people, just as we are not perfect people. And feel free to follow my letterboxd at kornrem. Also, if you enjoyed this, feel free to tip me, because I really enjoy this work and I want to do it more. And through tipping me, you give me access to do that for free. For most marginalized folks who cannot afford to pay for this. And once again, I hope that you are gentle with yourself today. Going into a transcendental or even transcorporeal space is very taxing on the body. We often don't have the capacity for it, and you may need extra slowness today, extra tenderness, and patience. So I hope that you can offer that to yourself, and remember that these are practices, and because of the nature of practice, they must be done repetitiously. It doesn't have to be every day, it doesn't even have to be every week, but just knowing that you can take a few minutes or you could take an hour out of your time to celebrate that is really important, and that's where it becomes internalized and becomes a legitimate part of your being. So thank you for joining me. Bye.